A few weeks ago, I tested the battery of the Nintendo Switch. Of course, I had the new model, which comes in this red box, and compared it back to the old model, which comes in this older packaging. Now, the links to those videos are in the description below, so make sure you check them out. However, the focus of this video is to repeat those tests on the newly released Nintendo Switch Lite. I've been playing the heck out of the Switch Lite for the past week or so, and I love it. As a portable console, I believe it works better than the regular Nintendo Switch, which is essentially a hybrid. It's a home console slash a portable. And since the Switch Lite is a dedicated portable console, the battery life is even more critical. Now, Nintendo claims anywhere from 3 hours to 7 hours of battery life. Of course, it depends on the game, and for Breath of the Wild, they claim about 4 hours. And once again, that's exactly the game I used for all my tests. For the first test, the settings were at a maximum. That means the brightness was all the way up, the sound was all the way up, and I made sure the Switch Lite was always connected to a network. While playing Zelda at these max settings, the 15% warning appeared at 2 hours and 52 minutes. The 5% warning appeared at 3 hours and 11 minutes. The 1% warning appeared at 3 hours and 18 minutes. And the console finally gave up and powered off at 3 hours and 25 minutes. So 3 hours and 25 minutes, that's the worst case scenario. Now, what's the best case scenario? For that, I turned down the settings all the way to the minimum. So that means brightness was at the lowest settings, the audio was at the lowest settings, and I had airplane mode turned on. Playing Zelda at these settings, I got the 1% warning at 4 hours and 19 minutes. And the console finally powered off at 4 hours and 32 minutes. So there you have it. Zelda Breath of the Wild on the Switch Lite can last anywhere from 3 hours 25 minutes to 4 hours and 32 minutes. And if you take the average of that, that's about 4 hours. So Nintendo's claims that Breath of the Wild lasts 4 hours on the Switch Lite are fairly accurate. Now, how does that compare to the regular Nintendo Switch? Well, if you have the old model, the battery life in the same conditions would last anywhere from 2 hours and 45 minutes to 3 hours and 20 minutes. So when it comes to battery life, the Nintendo Switch Lite would be an upgrade for you. Now, if you've recently purchased the new model, you know, the one that comes in the red box, this same game will last significantly longer, anywhere from 4 hours and 15 minutes at the maximum settings to 5 hours and 52 minutes at the minimum settings. So in that case, don't get the Switch Lite for the battery life. Of course, you can still get it as a second console because it is lighter and smaller, which makes it a much better portable option. That's the battery life test, but what about charging? How long does it take to fully charge the Switch Lite from 0 to 100? After an hour and a half, the battery had charged 70%. It took about 2 hours to get to 90%, and at 2 hours and 40 minutes, the battery was 99% charged. I went back after 5 minutes, and at 2 hours and 45 minutes, the battery was fully charged. Comparing that back to the regular Switch, the Switch Lite fully charges about 20 minutes faster. And that actually makes sense. If you want to get into the nerdy numbers, the Switch Lite uses a 13.6 watt battery, which is actually 16% smaller than the one on the regular Switch, which has a 16 watt battery. So that's all I have for today. I hope you're all enjoying your Nintendo Switches, whether you have the regular one or the Switch Lite, because they're all amazing consoles. Thanks for watching, and make sure you leave your comments below on if you'd like to see any particular type of testing in the future.